Greetings, Eric back again. This is the last video I'm doing in the irritable bowel syndrome series. I just completed a video on best foods to eat. There's a whole lot of videos in this series, so if you haven't seen them, I'd like you to go back and look at all of them, because I think if you've got IBS, you're going to get a lot of good knowledge out of this. What is IBS? Causes of IBS, signs and symptoms, tests and diagnosis, best diet, best treatment, best supplements. So check out these videos. I make these videos and take my time out on a Sunday just so you can get this kind of knowledge, stuff that I teach my patients. I appreciate there are a lot of people who can't afford to see me. I'm quite prepared to give a lot of free information away for people. It's awesome to see people recover. It's fantastic, and that's the best part of my job, is to get someone back saying, my life's changed. I really like that. So what food should you avoid with IBS? Well, if you've got IBS right now, what I want you to do is get a piece of paper, okay? Just a piece of paper, and I want you to write down all the foods you're eating on a piece of paper. It's not hard to do. Might take you 10-20 minutes. So instead of watching your favorite soap opera or football match or whatever you do, think about procrastinating not any longer with your IBS, but actually doing something about it. Get a piece of paper, write down all the foods that you eat, all the beverages that you have. And what I want you to do, I want you to get one of these. What's that? It's not a piece of candy. That is a highlighting pen. So what you do is you open it, and then you have a really critical look at that piece of paper, and you highlight all the foods that you know you shouldn't be having. I'm going to do it right now. No. Okay, well, I've just highlighted my foods. Look at that. Chocolate, ice cream, candy, Coca-Cola, rum and Coke. I know I shouldn't be having those. I've been a naughty boy. All right? But you get my point. I'm just being a bit silly at the moment. The point I'm making is, if you've been honest to yourself and you've written out that list, everything you eat and drink, then the highlighter should reveal at least 6, if not more, choices on that list that you know you shouldn't have. Then why the hell are you having them? Your bowel's irritated. Why are you having these foods and drinks for? Think about it. Oh, but I only have a piece of chocolate once a week. I only have a bag of chippies once a week when I'm watching my rugby game. I only have XYZ food here and there. It's not the point. The point is you want to recover. If you want to recover, you need to harden the bleep up. You need to make choices, okay? The choices are either going to work for you or against you. It's your call, all right? Now, if you haven't already clicked off this video because you feel annoyed by me, you will be surprised how many times a person has said to me, the best advice you gave me was for me to analyze my diet very carefully and to be totally honest with myself, because I don't think you're being honest with yourself. If you're going to seek help with IBS and you haven't been very honest with yourself and made a critical assessment of your diet and made strong choices, because you know what to eat. No one has to tell you to avoid sweets, to avoid ice cream, to avoid Coke, to avoid takeaway food, all that sort of junky, crappy stuff in your diet. The best foods to eat in my previous video are more about a full recovery from Candida, from IBS. But this one really is the foods that you should avoid. They're going to aggravate you. So that's point number A. Avoid the stuff that you know is not going to do you good. All right? You don't need your husband or your wife or your son or daughter or Jesus or whoever to tell you that. You should know that in your own mind, what to avoid. So now that we've cleared that up, let's have a look at foods that you should avoid, okay? Because that's the big point, is stuff that you know you should avoid, but you're still having anyway. When you eat a food, the food's either going to make you feel okay, all right, make you feel good, or make you feel not so good. So when you get older like me, you should have developed some kind of an intuition or sixth sense about a food. Now I know myself that I feel really good when I have rolled oats in the morning. I get high quality rolled oats. I just cook them in spring water, and that's my breakfast every morning. For lunch every day, I have a similar kind of lunch where Tracy and I will have a stir-fried dish, either with tofu or it'll be egg, or it'll be chicken, some kind of protein, and a whole lot of garden-grown vegetables and sprouts go through that. So that's our lunch every day. And then for dinner at night, we usually have some kind of protein. We'll have quinoa, we'll have some kind of steamed vegetable or a baked vegetable dish. It'll be eggs again, it'll be a protein dish. And I've learned an important thing I want to really talk with you now, and that's inappropriate snacking with irritable bowel syndrome. Please watch my video on stop the late night snacking, or stop snacking, okay? So when you've had your dinner at night and you're sitting down there watching TV or reading a book or going on Facebook or doing whatever you do, this is the danger time with IBS patients. Be careful not to inappropriately snack. Stick with your 3 meals per day. If you're going to snack, try not to do it after dinner at night, because this can upset your tummy when you're sleeping. You're better off having a snack in the afternoon, say around 2 or 3 o'clock. A good thing to do after your dinner is to go for a walk. Come home, have a glass of water, have a shower, and then relax, and then go to bed. Break up your ritual, because this will stop inappropriate snacking. All right? If you've eaten a food and you feel it doesn't sit right in your gut, make a note of that food. A couple of days later, have that food again. If you think it doesn't sit right with me, you want to avoid the food. The other thing that you want to do also, if you're unsure, is the Dr. Coco pulse test. So check that out online, pulse test, Dr. Coco. That's C-O-C-O-A, Dr. Coco pulse test. That could give you also a bit of an insight into foods that could be really problematic for you. Right? There's no hard and fast rules on foods to eat and foods to avoid, but common sense prevails. Avoid what aggravates you and eat what makes you feel good. No inappropriate snacking, healthy clean food choices, and avoid processed foods. This is the big one, guys. There's stuff in cans, packages, frozen dinners. Basically the stuff in the supermarket is not conducive for good gut health. Unless it's fresh, I would recommend you don't eat it. I prefer to cook all my meals from scratch. I grow most of my own vegetables now. I prefer not to buy any processed food at all. The only thing I would get in a can would be sardines, or maybe some chickpeas if I'm lazy, or maybe some canned tomatoes, but I don't really eat anything in tins. Everything's really freshly made. And I think it's paid off with a great gut health. So that's what I want to say to you. What to avoid? The stuff you know what you shouldn't be having, and B, processed foods, takeaway foods, snacky kind of biscuits and stuff like that. To avoid all that. Eat fresh stuff. It's going to make a big difference with IBS. So I hope you've enjoyed my series on irritable bowel syndrome. Most of it's common sense. There's no space age information here. If you're not a subscriber to my channel and you've watched my series, please subscribe. I do appreciate the feedback and the comments I'm getting. And look forward to catching up with you guys in the future. Click on the link down below if you haven't already got my free Candida report. Thanks for tuning in.